Hare Krishna.
All right, Hare Krishna devotees, welcome everybody to this session and then we will start. So, today we are doing the ninth chapter. It's a very nice chapter. You know why this is a very important chapter? Because this is talking about pure devotional service. You see, there are different levels of devotional service, but this is all about pure devotional service. Okay, so for example, let me just show you this. So what I'm trying to tell you, so we have different levels of devotional service, but then pure devotional service is something very special. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, you see this picture. We have different levels of devotional service. There is the ritualistic activities that we perform as a part of the Vedic culture. We have the fire sacrifices, giving donations, reading the Vedas, doing tapasya, worship of the demigods, etc. etc. And this is called as karma mishrita bhakti or karma yoga. Karma yoga means you are doing the ritualistic fire sacrifices, activities, dana, karma, everything, and then you are offering it to Krishna. Okay, that is one level of devotional service. And then the next one is a jnana, where you know the sadhaka or the seeker is going through some of the Vedantic Upanishadic textbooks and trying to differentiate between Brahman and Maya and trying to find out the root of the universe, trying to find out who is the absolute truth, and then finally coming to the conclusion about the absolute truth. Now, Yoga Mishrita Bhakti is all about this. Is chapter number 6. We saw chapter number 6 was about yoga practice, where the yogis are meditating upon the lotus feet of the Lord. They're meditating upon the Paramatma, and then they are trying to attain to the abode of Paramatma, like that. Now, the ninth chapter is very special because it is about pure devotional service. Okay, so progressively, it is finally coming to this stage where we are coming to this Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yejanaha Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Means it is about without any interruption, undeviatedly, continuously worshipping Krishna. Ananyas Chintayantam, always remember Krishna. Now that is Bhakti Yoga, and that is what this chapter is all about. So that is why it is so special. I mean, anybody who takes to the devotional service of Krishna is very special. I mean, it is even said that those people who are chanting the names of Krishna, it is said in the Bhagavatam, they have performed all the fire sacrifices which are mentioned in the Vedas. They have given all the donations which are mentioned in the Vedas. They have visited all the necessary holy places of the world. And now they have come to the stage where they are able to chant the names of Krishna incessantly. That means to come to the stage of pure devotional service, we should have already completed all of this. It is already done, finished. We don't have to again go to, it's like, somebody who has gone, finished his first LKG, first class, second class, third class, now is in 10th standard. But now he says, now I want to just once more do my LKG now. You don't do that, right? So it is already done. Okay, now somebody is in pure devotional service. Now we are in a pure devotional service. That means we're chanting the holy names of Krishna. We are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. The 9 process of devotional service. Now it is the final step. The next step is going back to Godhead. The next step is not to get into karma or jnana. This is karma, jnana or yoga. There's a very nice verse which says in by Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam Bhakti Uttama. That means there are different types of mixtures. Okay, you can mix, just like you can take pure milk, you can add something to it and then it gets mixed up. Correct? You can take the milk directly or you can add something and make it something else. But now this is pure milk, okay? Pure devotional service is like that. But when you mix karma, it becomes karma mishrita. When you mix jnana, it becomes jnana mishrita. Yoga, it becomes yoga mishrita. But it is the definition of bhakti by Rupa Goswami is anya abhilashita shunyam. That means no other desire. The karmis, they are desiring to go to the heavenly planets and enjoy. The jnanis, they are desiring to merge into the Supreme. The yogis, they are desiring to get the different siddhis, ashta siddhis. But it is anya abhilashita shunyam. Devotees have no desire at all. They are called as akama, means no desire at all. That is a desire. That is the position of the devotees. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Jnana karma adi anavritam means no mixture of jnana. I mean, no impersonal knowledge. We don't want to spoil our pure devotional service, the relationship with Krishna. We don't want to spoil it with impersonal knowledge, or with yoga, or with karma, or any one of that. All we want to do is we just simply want to satisfy Krishna. So that is the beauty of this chapter. This is the 9th chapter. Now we are talking about that. And Krishna so far has explained how we have to always think of Krishna, and now he's going to come to a very wonderful conclusion by the end of the class. Okay, just stay till the end. So we'll have a very, very beautiful instruction from Krishna, which is the most important instruction of Bhagavad Gita. So let us begin. So far what we have done in the last classes, we said that Name Bhakta Pranashyati. What does that mean? Anybody can say what is the meaning of Name Bhakta Pranashyati?
My devotee shall not perish.
Yes. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. There is nothing called as pranashyati for the devotee. Devotee never perishes. Okay, devotee is always taken care by Krishna, and Krishna, he will go back to Krishna. Either in this lifetime, or even if it's lost in the next lifetime, for sure. But even our Prabhupada also used to say, all the devotees, all the disciples of ISKCON, they will either go back to Krishna or another 1-2 lifetimes. That's it. They may go to the Swarga Loka and they come down and they'll go back to Godhead. That's it. There's nobody who's going to be staying here. Right? Like that. My devotee never perishes. I'll tell you one very nice story about my devotee never perishes. There was a devotee by named Bilva Mangala Thakur. Have you heard about him? Bilva Mangal Thakur. Okay. Since this person, Bilva Mangal Thakur, he was a very nice devotee, and in the past life, and he was doing nice devotional service, everything, and somehow he did not go back to Godhead because of some material tendencies. He took birth again. Now he took birth again, and he was born in a nice rich Brahmana family, but then somehow by bad association he got addicted to wine, and he got addicted to women, and he particularly got addicted to one prostitute named Chintamani. He always used to go to Chintamani, and nobody could stop him, and he used to squander all the wealth. That was Bilva Mangala. So then what happened was, one night his father died, and then it was raining very heavily outside. Despite of his father's death, he wanted to meet Chintamani very desperately. He wanted to go to Chintamani. So, but then there was no possibility to go because it was flooding so much. Okay. And then but still he came out. Even all his relatives tried to stop him, saying that your father has died. Don't you feel shame that you are going to a prostitute now? Just stay back here. I said, no, I'm going. He goes. And then what happens next is, there is a boatman, right? He has to cross the river. He says, boatman, can you help me? The boatman says, no, I cannot help you. You can go on your own. So he finds some plank or some kind of wood, and he floats on that and he goes. But he does not realize that it is not a wood, but it is actually a dead body. So he floats on a dead body and goes and crosses the river. And then he goes to Chintamani's house, and now he is not even able to go to the first floor or the second floor, third floor, because the steps are flooded with water. Now he has to go up to meet Chintamani. Now he calls for Chintamani, but Chintamani is not able to help. So he finds a rope there and he climbs up by that rope. And he later realizes that it's not even a rope, it's actually a snake. It was a deadly snake, but still he didn't care about it. He finally meets Chintamani. And then Chintamani finally says, I am so disappointed with you. If you had the same amount of enthusiasm and fervor in devotional service to Krishna, by now you would have been liberated. This is what she said. Only one single sentence that she said, and that directly landed on him. Only one word that she said. If you had so much of passion and interest and fervor in devotional service to Krishna, by now you would have been liberated. It was like a thunder that struck him. Suddenly he remembered something. He woke up from his dream. Suddenly he realized that something, he realized his past. That, okay, what am I doing? And then he left everything and he went for Vrindavan. And on his way to Vrindavan, he was renounced. Now he has become a saint and he's a devotee saint, like that. He's going on the way to Vrindavan. Somewhere he stops by one house. Then in that house, there's a family. And when the those days women used to be wearing the sari like this, ghungar like that, right? So, but he said he felt like this is Chintamani. I think she's Chintamani. Suddenly he remembered Chintamani. And he requested the husband of the wife that I think, can I see her face? So he says she was in an awkward position now. Okay, he's asking to see the face of his wife. So he said, okay, fine, he's a guest, he's a saintly person, so it's okay. Then he asked, okay, please open your gungar and show your face. Then he realizes it's not Chintamani. And then he feels so bad again that, okay, I came to the saintly line and then suddenly still I am remembering Chintamani. Then he says, okay, please ask her to give her pin, the hairpin. He takes the hairpin and he just pokes his eyes, Bilav Thakur. And he says, I don't want to see anything because my eyes are very sinful. Right? He pokes his eyes and he's blind. Now he's a blind saint. He goes to Vrindavan. Right? And he becomes so much of devotional service that he does, that Krishna himself appears in front of the Bilva Thakur. Right? He's a great devotee and he's very well known and he's written so many songs and all. Now the interesting point is, this Chintamani, do you know who is Chintamani in the past life? Can you guess?
His spiritual master.
Yeah, Chintamani, this prostitute, was the spiritual master of Bilvamangala Thakur in the past life. So that means if somebody is initiated and if it doesn't go back to Godhead, right, the spiritual master takes birth again to take back his disciple back to home, back to Godhead. That is the responsibility that a spiritual master takes. So we see that in this pastime, this Bilvamangala Thakura, he served his spiritual master very nicely in the previous lifetime, but somehow he fell down, and due to bad association, he became a very corrupt person, very sinful person. Api cheta suduracharo, it's very suduracharo, very worst behavior. Bhajate mam ananya bhak, that if he is doing devotional service, sadureva samantavyam, we should still consider him to be a saintly personality, because Krishna says, Kshipram bhavati punyatma, shashvat shantim nigacchati, kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. So a devotee will be corrected by Krishna himself, because Krishna will take over. You see, a lot of people are worried about the Navagrahas, right? It is said that, if you surrender to Krishna, if you surrender to a spiritual master, Krishna will take over. All the posts, all the demigod posts he will take over for the devotee. That means the post of Yamadharmaraj also will be taken over by Krishna. And Krishna will be personally giving punishments. All the good and bad karma will be delivered by Krishna. And he will be doing it in a very nice way. I mean, just like how parents, for example, when parents are very strict, it is not that they hate us, isn't it? When parents are giving punishments, it's not out of hatred they give it, isn't it? It's out of love, in a very controlled way they give it. So that there is something which we don't understand. Okay, to mend us. Similarly, Krishna, he wants to finish our karma. So once you surrender to Krishna, Krishna only wants to think, how can I finish the entire karma of this devotee and take him back to my abode? That is the only thing Krishna will be always thinking. Actually, more than how much we think about Krishna, Krishna will be thinking about us. That is the important point. So now, that's what Krishna is saying, that my devotee never perishes. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Now let us continue from here, devotees. We'll see the chapter number 9. We have a couple of verses, very nice, interesting verses. Anybody wants to read this? मां हि पार्थव्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्रास्तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम्. Mam, of me, he certainly, Partha, O son of Pritha, Vyapasritya, particularly taking shelter. Ye, those who, api, also, syuh, are, Papa Yonayaha, born of a lower family, Striyaha, women, Vaishyaha, mercantile people, Tataha, also, Shudraha, lower class men, Tepi, even they, Yanti, go, Param, to the supreme, Gatim destination. Oh, translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Would anybody like to read the purport?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead and read the purport.
It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that devotional service is no distinction between the lower and higher classes of people. In material conception of life, there are such divisions, but for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for supreme destination. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called Chandalas, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and higher classes of men. Anyone can take it. The most simple man taking shelter of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. According to different modes of material nature, men are classified in mode of goodness, Brahmanas, mode of passion, Kshatriyas or administrators, the mixed modes of passion, ignorance, Vaishyas or merchants, and the mode of ignorance, Shudras or workers. Those lower than them are called Chandalas. They are born in sinful families. Generally, association of those born in sinful families is not accepted by the higher classes. But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of lower classes to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes shelter of Krishna. As indicated here by the word Vyapastriya, one has to take shelter completely of Krishna. Then one can become much greater than great Gyanis and Yogis. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dana Pranam. So, one thing what we have to understand here is that uh, this class system, right, is created by Krishna. It's not created by human beings. Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam Maya Sruštva. How, on what basis did Krishna create this? Guna Karma Vibhakasha. Guna Karma Vibhakasha means based on the guna, modes of material nature, and karma, based on the activity, profession that one person is doing. Based on the guna and karma, these classes have been divided. This is called Varna. It's not a caste system. So what has happened is this Varna system has degraded into a caste system. It was not originally a caste system. The present day caste system is a degraded, spoiled version of it. But originally what Krishna created is not for the purpose. The purpose is that there are three modes of material nature: Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna, and there is a combination of Rajas and Tamas. Those who are in the mode of goodness, they are the Brahmanas, and they are doing the activities like they are teachers. For example, they are teachers, they are academicians, they are the scientists, researchers. All of them are like mode of goodness. And the mode of passion are the administrators, warriors, army officers, police department, like that. This is the mode of passion, Kshatriya. Mode of passion means Kshatriya. And mixed mode of passion and ignorance is a businessman, business class. Those people who are doing business, right? All the businessmen or agriculture, that's a mixed mode of passion and ignorance. And then we have the mode of ignorance, that is a Shudra. Shudra means a worker or an employee. Even an employee is also considered to be a Shudra as per the Varna system. Now, the thing what happens is, because of their modes of goodness, I mean, see, what happens is the Brahmanas, they are reading the Vedas. Generally, Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, they are called Dvijas, and they read the Vedas generally. So that means they have a Vedic education background. That means especially the Brahmanas, because they are also teachers of Vedas, they are also learners of the Vedas. So naturally, if they were already teaching the transcendental knowledge, they are all teaching the Upanishads, they are already teachers of Upanishads and teachers of the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita and everything. We expect that they are already, having so much of, they are in the textbook and they are reading it. Or even the Kshatriyas also, Kshatriyas are taking the shelter of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas are, consulting the Brahmanas, and then they are under the shelter, so they are doing all the religious activities, so they are also somewhat very much religious. Now comes to the next two classes, that is the Vaishyas and the Shudras. So they generally are very busy in their work and etc. So may not be very highly knowledgeable in Vedic knowledge and etc. Now with that point of view, if you actually think, it does not disqualify them, is what Krishna is trying to say. Krishna is trying to say that it may be anybody. Sriya Vaishya Sata Sudra Epsyu Papa Yonayaha. Krishna is saying, Mam hi partha vyapasritya. The important point is, we have to take shelter of Krishna. If we don't take shelter of Krishna, you know what happens? I tell you, you will be very surprised to see the Vedic evolution, the way it gives is, first of all, we have the animal birth. It's given in the Vedas, okay? First we get animal births. That also different types of animals. For example, starting from animals which can move, which cannot move the trees, then after that which can move, which are like some snakes, worms, like that. Then the ones which have legs, 4 legs. Then the ones which have 2 legs. Then the human beings. Among the human beings, those people who are following the Vedic culture. Among those who are following the Vedic culture, it starts with the Chandala, that is the lower outcast. And the next birth of that person will be a Shudra or a worker. The next birth will be a Vaishya. The next birth will be a Kshatriya. And the next birth will be Brahmana. The next birth will be a Brahmana who gets the Vedic knowledge. The next birth will be a person who is self-realized. Next birth will be, he will be realized in Brahman. This is the progression. But if we do not follow Krishna consciousness, this is how it goes. But if you follow Krishna consciousness, it does not matter. It does not matter which class or anybody belongs to. It does not matter at all. Actually, there is a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Hirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha, abhira shumbha yavana kasadaya, yenya cha papa, yenye cha papa, yadapashraya ashrayaha, chudyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha. That means Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumba, Yavana, members of the Khasa race and even others addicted to the sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances to him. It's a very wonderful purport that Srila Prabhupada has written to this. It says here, Kirata means this is a place which is in the modern day Bihar. Okay, there used to be some people who used to be aboriginal tribes, okay, who are called Kiratas. I mean, they are very dangerous also. They can kill human beings also. They're very, even today we see, if you see some islands like North Sentinel Islands, I don't know if you heard about it, it's near Andaman Islands. There's some untouched islands, even in Oceania, near Australia. There's some places where there are cannibals and some people who are hunters. They have no idea about the technology, whatever is going on in the world. And if anybody comes to civilize them, they will kill them. That is called Kirata. Huna means, Prabhupada writes, it's an area in East Germany and a part of Russia called Hunas. It's a hill tribe. Andhra is the province in southern India, which is mentioned in Bhishma Parva. It is still extant under the same name. Andhra means Andhra, right? South. So Pulinda means, it is mentioned in the Mahabharata. Pulinda is Greeks. Greeks are called Pulinda. Okay, actually what happened was, earlier all of them were Kshatriyas, all these Greeks, right? All these people who are in the Iraq, Iran and the Greece, etc. They are all the Kshatriyas who ran away from Bharatavarsha when Parashurama had killed the Kshatriyas 21 times. Parashurama had vowed to kill all the Kshatriyas 21 times. So at that time, so many Kshatriyas ran away to the Iraq, Iran and the Greek and all of this. So all these peoples, Westerners, foreigners and even the Mlechas, Iraq, Iran, Turkey, all of them, they are all actually earlier, they were all belong to the Vedic culture, but they got, completely changed. They forgot all their habits and they came to some other habits now. Okay, different cultures they became. Okay, Abhira, it is said, it is a province near the Sindh, the modern day Sindh, that is called as Abhiras. So like that, Shumba means, it is also mentioned in it's one of the old ones. Yavana means it's Turkey, that is Yavana. Khasa Desh, Khasa means those who have a small hair growth on their upper lip. That means, the Chinese are called Khasa. Mongolians, Chinese are called Khasa. And here Prabhupada writes that, these people are considered to be very sinful by the Vedas. So it doesn't matter, even if they are most sinful also does not matter. So if they take the shelter, Shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha, it says yenecha papa yadapashrayasrayaha. If they take the shelter of the pure devotees of Krishna, anybody can become purified. So that is why it is said, even if there is a dog eater, if it is a dog eater also, if he is a Vaishnava, he is called as Guru. It says Brahmana can be fully expert in the Vedas, a sannyasi can be fully renounced, but still they are not considered as Guru. But it says Vaishnavascha Swapako Guruhu, Padma Purana says. That means even if he is eating a dog meat, that person also, if he is a Vaishnava, he is Guru. That is a declaration of the Shastras. That means the real purification is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness can purify anybody. It is said that anybody who instantly, even a dog meat eater, if he chants the name of Hare Krishna one time, just once, he becomes so purified that now he is eligible to perform fire sacrifices. So this is the important point. So that means we have to understand from this verse that does not matter what birth one has. Okay, we have to understand, and we just have to do devotional service, right? So, and it's very important, because it's a very difficult topic also for people to understand, because people are usually in the mode of, oh, how can you say that to me like that? Okay, but that's not the correct mode of devotional service. Okay, the correct mode of devotional service I will explain you. Just like you see, Sudama Brahmana. So he's a Brahmana. He has read the Vedas. He went to Vedic school along with Krishna. So he is very well qualified Brahmana, and he is following his Brahmanical qualification perfectly. But when he came in front of Krishna, he said like this, that I am a Brahma Bandhu. He says, where are you and where am I? So he says, where am I Daridra and where are you Narayana? So where am I Daridra Brahmana and where are you the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And I am a Brahma Bandhu, I am not even a Brahmana. He says, I am not even a Brahmana, I am a fallen Brahman. He says like that. So our mindset should be like that. We should not be like, getting into a defensive mode and saying, oh, how can somebody say like that? I mean, you should not be saying that. It should be actually having the opposite mindset. We should be actually thinking, oh, I'm very sinful. Actually, I'm very sinful. But Krishna, you are so merciful. That is how we should be actually thinking. So we should actually see the Krishna's mercy in this, rather than trying to see anything negative about it. Okay. So that's the point. And then in the next verse, let's go to the next verse. Anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji, I have one thing. Just to understand, I'm curious to understand actually. Krishna himself is saying that among lower birth, women is also one of them. What is the reason exactly? I'm curious to understand what is the reason why he's categorizing that.
See, the thing is, I mean, the Vedic culture, I mean, the Vedas, they see the intelligence. I mean, they say that, generally it is said that the male birth, it is said, I mean, at least in the social structure, the male birth is considered to be superior, I mean, as per the Vedas, okay? So, why is that so? It is said because generally women are attached to family life, correct? And attached to, money and family life and materialistic things. Or, for example, women are more interested in, worried about how they look, right? they purchase a lot of dresses, etc. Sorry, please don't mind everybody. I'm saying all of you are women here. Kindly forgive me if I say this. But as per the Vedic culture, the best person is a self-realized soul. Okay, the self-realized soul who is like, completely renounced, who has no attachment towards the family. Somebody is not getting any attachment towards the family. He does not have any attachment about how he looks, etc. And he's only worried about his self-realization. Such a person is considered to be the best. So in that scale, in that classification, so what happens is women and money are considered to be, personification of Maya of Krishna. Okay. And it is said in a Puranjana story also, we see what happens is, it is said Puranjana, he was attached to his wife, and he thought about his wife, and he died, and he got a woman birth. So it happens that, when you were very attached to women, we get the birth of a woman. That's what the Bhagavatam says. Okay. So
Hare
that's what
Krishna,
happens.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you just said that women are like you. They like to, they look after their looks and their dresses. So, Prabhuji,
I
the
got
same
into a very
Shastra
dangerous
says.
area, Mataji. Thanks to
Yes, yes. But Prabhuji, no,
Sorry.
I'm not dangerous, Prabhuji. Just
Yeah.
no,
Hare
Prabhuji. I
Krishna.
just want to say
No problem.
something. The same Shastra says a woman should dress up well before her husband to
Correct. Yes.
attract her husband,
Yes.
and this pleases her husband. Isn't it, Prabhuji?
That's
So
true.
if you don't take care of our looks and our dresses, our
Yes.
husband will roam about here and there, Prabhuji.
That is true. See, Mataji, for the marriage institution to work, there must be attachment.
That's what I just wanted to clarify, Prabhuji. If we keep ourselves fit and we have to look after the house,
Right.
the
Prabhuji, may I just add one
Yeah,
small
please.
point?
Yes.
Just
Prabhuji, we
Prabhuji,
are all
that's
mostly
what also
Matajis
I
in
have
this
heard in the
group.
Shastras.
Yes, please. Please
That's
go ahead,
why
Mataji.
women.
We just wanted to say that our consciousness is little less as compared to the males. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all.
But
I mean,
here
it
in
doesn't
Nothing
mean
Prabhuji, we are
negative.
all mostly Matajis in this group
Yeah, I
attending
know.
your class.
Yes, Mataji. That's why I said I mean, all the devotees. I mean, generally only Prabhupada also says only Matajis only come to the religious things. They are
And
only very much attached.
we in turn, we influence the family members.
Yes.
I mean, quietly also, sometimes we cannot open our mouth, but quietly as we follow our devotional services,
Absolutely.
they will also follow it. That's
Absolutely.
they
Yes.
say, no, one woman in a family gets educated, the whole family gets educated. So
That's
same way.
That's
Hare
absolutely
Krishna.
same thing. Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, the same Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, don't see any difference between Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Chandala, and all of that, right? So, but you know, all of it is there. Yeah, everybody is equal. Definitely, there's no doubt. I mean, even all living entities has a soul inside them. But just that the consciousness, like Madhuri said, the consciousness level, okay, is just that, if they're not Krishna conscious, if they're not Krishna consciousness, if a Mataji is Krishna conscious, then she's not considered to be, we should not even consider as a woman at all, first of all.
Yes,
For example,
only Atma.
yeah, for example, Yamuna, there's a lot of disciples have a lot of problem with this actually.
चला जाता है.
It's normal because Yamuna Mataji, I think one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada went to Srila Prabhupada and said, how can you write like this? I mean,
मेरे इसी के टाइम में
how
क्यों
does,
चला जाता है?
how does the Veda say like this about the woman? Like that, okay? So, like that, when Prabhupada asked one question, okay? Prabhupada asked a question, are you a woman? Do you think that you are a woman body? If you think you are the body, then you are less intelligent, he said that. Are you understanding what he said?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's it. If you think that you are the body, and if you think that you are a woman body, then yes, you are less intelligent, he said. But if you think that you are the soul and you are devotee of Krishna, then you are not. Then you are not in the same classification of, that Papayonayaha, Shudra, Vaishya, woman, and like that. You see? That is one explanation. You are understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. This is I understand. I can understand. A lot of people may be very triggered by this. I'm so sorry, but this is what is the given here in the verse, and
No,
we'll have
not
to
about
understand.
triggering, Prabhuji, just to understand, that's it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. If
Yes,
you are actually, that is the greatness. I mean, you people are very nice Vaishnavis.
Interactive.
Yeah, you are very nice Vaishnavis. You are in Sattvaguna. You are able to very peacefully able to hear about it. You know, there may be some people who may be immediately starting to fire also, isn't it? There's some people, isn't it? You see a lot of people who are they get very upset immediately, you know, and then they start quarreling and all of that. You know, a lot of this kind of debates are happening these days, right?
well, I
So,
believe with the Shastras, Prabhuji. I have
yeah.
no arguments. I believe in that. It's just that, Prabhuji, even now you see, the women are less taken into consideration, nuisance in the society. I've seen this, Prabhuji, because both my son and daughter-in-law are doctors, and I see this happening. A girl child is born, and there's a big martyrdom in the house that a girl child is born. And even as a woman, Prabhuji, a woman has to go through a lot of this thing. I agree, and then she always needs a man in her life to look after her. I don't say no about that, Prabhuji. I agree with the Shastra. It's
But
just I was
physically,
just
she is weak, no?
clarifying.
That's it.
Yes, I only wanted to clear this that a woman dresses up and wears only to attract the attention of her husband.
That is
No,
I
religious
see
see,
woman.
men.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is
no.
religious woman. That is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, good women do like
No,
that.
actually, they say, no, Karyashu
Yeah,
Mantri, woman has to
that's right.
take various parts in her life
Absolutely,
to
absolutely. Yes, Mataji. It is
do
actually
her
given in the
duties.
Shastras. You know, if the husband and wife, if the husband has to be at home, he has to be attached with the family life, has to be attached to the family life. There must be some attraction at the home. He should be attached to the wife. He should be attached to the children. Otherwise, he will leave the home, right? So the family will break apart. So we have to keep that together. There is a attraction between the man and woman. You see, Bhagavatam says the attraction between man and woman is the actual cause of this material existence. The cause of our birth, or the reason why we are here in this material body, is because of the attraction between man and woman. And that's how it has been designed. Okay, we cannot say, I mean, it is said that Bhagavatam also says women are like personification of Maya, of Krishna. So how do you understand it? As women you may not be able to understand it, but if you think it from a men's perspective, men are getting attracted, and that is how they commit a lifetime with a woman, right? That is how the family life goes on, right? If there was no attraction at all, this would not have ever happened, no? I mean, the entire creation will stop, isn't it? So that is how everything has been designed by Brahma and Krishna and everything. I mean, in general, I mean, yes,
But in all this also, we have to go within ourselves to feel the consciousness of the Atman in ourselves, the Paramatman in ourselves, and the ultimate goal we should be following, trying to
absolutely,
reach
absolutely.
its Godhead.
Absolutely. And then, what happens is, I don't have personal experience, but you can confirm me if that's true. Women feel more attached to their family. I think that's how they are, because they give birth to children, right? So they have more attachment toward the family. I mean, they would not think about detaching and going somewhere in the forest. We don't see that women have left their family and gone to a forest or anything like that, right? Generally, that doesn't happen, no. So that natural attachment is always there. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. I'm sorry, voice is cut.
But
Very
in spite of all this,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
I said,
that
Prabhuji,
women, I have more, I'm attached mentally to my daughter, but my husband is more concerned. He will always call her up and talk to him, but and hand over the phone to me to take over everything. But actually, I'm attached, but I know how to. I understand her life as I mean, as a woman, she has to take care of her children, her husband, her father-in-law, and everything. So I will not call her up, but I will think of her. But my husband will call her up and speak to her and hand over the phone to me.
Right. Yes,
This is
Mataji.
what
Yeah.
it is.
It
So
is
men are
both.
also attached. They won't show it
Yeah, it is
extremely.
not that men are completely detached or something. Okay, it's not at all like that. And yeah, Mataji is saying Akka Madhavi, and then yeah, we have Mirabai. We have so many great devotees. Like we have Kunti Maharani. So we just have to understand in a perspective. Okay, it's not a competition. Okay, please try to
Even now,
understand.
this is Margari Dhanurmasa.
Yeah,
Andal Goda Devi also is she is a great devotee of the south.
absolutely, absolutely. See, we are all worshippers of Radharani, and who can be a better devotee than Radharani? who can be more advanced than Radharani and the gopis? And we say that gopis are the topmost devotees of Krishna, is it not? And we are all followers of the gopis, right? So it's not to condemn it's not a competition or to put somebody down here, okay? That's not the idea at all. You just have to understand it in the right perspective. That in general, women may not be as attracted to a spiritual life as men. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, but actually we are seeing the opposite. From my experience and from experience of everybody, we see that there are more women who get attracted to Krishna conscious programs, is it not? The religious programs and Krishna conscious
That's exactly
programs.
what I told Prabhuji.
Yeah,
We are all
absolutely.
here.
Yeah, and most of them are Matajis only in the programs. That's right. No, but the point is, we should not. That's what I said. We should not get into this competitive mindset. Instead, we should think like this. We should get the mindset of like Kunti Maharani, and just like how Sudama is in a very humble mindset, right? Sudama said, I'm not a Brahmana, I'm a Brahma Bandhu. Right? I'm a Brahma Bandhu. And you are Narayana. How did you give me this knowledge? So similarly, Kunti Maharani also said the same thing. Kunti Maharani said, after all, I'm a woman. And you are a person who has come here to give knowledge to Paramahamsas. So Krishna has come to give knowledge to Paramahamsas. I mean, to the sannyasis and to those people who are like, very advanced people who have given up everything, in the forest. But after all, I'm like a woman who is attached to my home and my family. I'm always thinking about Pandavas. That's the only my only thing. Every time I'm praying to you, I'm thinking about my Pandava, my children. My children should be safe. My children should be safe. My children should be safe. This is the only thing that I'm meditating. Yes or no? So she says, please be very merciful to me and cut this attachment that I have got. That's what Kunti Maharani says. I want to cut this attachment. Let me just read that verse. It's a very nice verse which says, this is a verse. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Katam Pashyemahi Striyaha. She's saying, you yourself descend to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service unto the hearts of advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. So she's saying, how can we women know you perfectly? So because Paramahamsa means somebody who can discriminate between matter and spirit. Paramahamsa is a person who understands that he is not the body. So she's not comparing with men, she's comparing herself with Paramahamsas. Okay, there are so many Paramahamsas who are so advanced people who understand what is matter, what is spirit. They have 100% realization. But after all, I'm just a, woman who is just taking care of my children. That's it. How can you be so kind to me? Something like that, she's saying. Okay.
Prabhuji, even Prahlad Maharaj, while he's telling his friends about how he came to know about Krishna consciousness, he tells his friends, my mother being a woman, a less intelligent person, forgot all the instructions given by Narad, and I could remember it. Even there he says this, Prabhuji's.
Correct.
That women are
Yeah,
less
but there
intelligent.
there's a clause, Mataji. He says that probably she was tensed about her personal
Yes,
life
but
because she was away from her husband.
I
So
mean,
in that,
women are tensed, Namataji.
Yeah.
Women are tensed because of the household, this thing and all.
Yeah.
They are more vulnerable and more tense. That's why Prahlad Maharaj used this
anxiety,
word,
yes.
na? Less anxiety. We are more into it.
And
Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj, when he worships Lord Narsimha, he doesn't say I'm a devotee, he says I am a demon. Prahlad Maharaj says I'm a demon. When Hanuman worships the Lord Ramchandra, he says I'm an animal. Right? So, we should not become very competitive and worry about this. Instead, we should be trying to be humble. That's it. We should just be humble. Okay, whatever position we are, Krishna, okay, we are in this position right now. Okay, please protect me. Now, how are you going to give me liberation? How am I going to get liberation from this body? That's all we should be actually thinking about. And the point here is, when a devotee, when a woman becomes a devotee, there's no distinction at all. Okay, and Srila Prabhupada didn't do any kind of distinction, right? So, for example, he gave the Brahmin threads to the Matajis, etc. right? And which was actually never heard before. So Prabhupada never distinguished, right? And there was in Nityananda Prabhu's wife, Jahnavi Mataji, was also a spiritual master, a guru, okay? Yeah, so I mean, we should not, I think we are looking at the wrong aspect now, okay? What we should, the aspect that we should be looking at is, okay, given that Krishna has classified this Varna system like this, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and women like this. And Krishna is saying that if we take to devotional service, anybody can get liberated, which is otherwise not possible. Which is otherwise not possible. Like I said, there is a transition. If you want to become liberated, there is a way, there's a process. I mean, as per the, if you actually go through the Vedic process, I mean, if you actually see the Vedas, it says there is a hierarchy of the living entity species. I told you there is a non-living entity, there's a moving, non-moving trees, and then there's in that classification, it also comes like a woman body, and then the man's body, and then the Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana, self-realized Brahmana, Paramahamsa, and then Brahman realized. So there is a process like that. Okay. So we should think that, okay, now that I'm here somewhere, okay, how can I jump all of this ahead, bodies ahead, and go back to home, back to God? We should be worried about our liberation rather than trying to, argue about this classification. I think so. Okay. How can we get liberated? Right? So let's go through this. So what Prabhupada is saying here is, if we take Vyapashitriya means take the shelter of Krishna, then anybody can become great Jnani and great Yogi also. Right? It's like that. I mean, like for example, just imagine if let's say there's a great, just imagine, okay? If a great saintly person is coming, okay, some sannyasi is coming, okay, to your home, you will respect the sannyasi, sadhu, isn't it? Right? But I'm asking Mataji's only here, will you be able to give the same respect as a very high spiritual leader if a woman comes to your home? Sorry to ask this question. I mean, please be open and be honest. Will you be able to give the same respect that you give to a sannyasi? A sannyasi, brahmachari, completely, as much as, as a spiritual leader and completely surrender. I'll ask you another question. Now, are you ready to take initiation under a woman? Okay, now this is very challenging and confronting also. This is a question for you. Are you ready? Okay, you're ready to take initiation. Will you be ready to take initiation under a woman? If,
Yes, at a point, we have reached a point, but Prabhuji, that we are on the road to, in the first few steps of spiritual life. And we have learned not to differentiate. We don't have, even if a woman comes to our house, it's Atiti Devo Bhava, that's the way we treat everybody.
Atiti Devo Bhava is okay, but will you worship?
The same treatment. And fine. Initiation also, if it is woman, there is no issues at all.
Yes, we will see, Mataji.
I am ready to take. I am a follower of Ramakrishna Sharadamba Ashram in our place.
That's right. I attend to her. Actually, there's a great debate going on within ISKCON right now. There's some sides who are saying, women cannot give initiation. There's some people are saying women can give initiation. Prabhupada said women can give initiation. Our Guru Maharaj is right to give, chance to women. So when some women gurus will come, then I'll ask you, I'll see your thing. If you are ready to take initiation, that'll be great. Okay? So I'm saying, that bias is there. Somehow, I don't know, the societal bias is there that, spiritual master means a sannyasi means a male like that. Is it not? But actually, it does not exist in Krishna consciousness. That you have to understand. Yes.
All
in Krishna consciousness, there is no difference. Okay? But despite of that, we see still there is no acceptance in the society. Right? For example, when some sannyasi, like, some Maharaj comes, when Maharaj comes, thousands of people will come. Right? That may not be the case, for somebody like a Mataji who comes. May not be possible, I'm saying. That is a societal bias that we have, right? So, they are all the biases of the society right now. And nobody gives so much of this one. Okay?
Prabhuji, it is
Yes.
also said that women can't give pindadan. Okay, Prabhuji, it's only the male or the male child. But in Ramayana, you see, Prabhuji, that Mata Sita
Sita
had
Mata.
given a
Sita is
pindadan
given
for
for
her
her father-in-law.
father-in-law.
Yes.
Father-in-law. Isn't it, Prabhuji? So, I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
people have seen a change in women this thing.
Yes, Mataji.
Even now, now traditions have changed. Many places I see people saying it's okay, no son, daughter, let her go ahead. Let her give her the mukha agani, whatever this is. So
Uh,
changes have come from.
Changes have come, but I mean, so again, we're getting into a wrong direction. But one thing is, changes have come, that's okay. But what happens, the problem is, women know actually as a Kanya Dana, when a woman is given to another family, um, she's no longer eligible to give Pindadan to the family after is being, because she belongs to the other family now, because she's given as a Kanya Dana, I mean, as per the Vedic culture. So that is where, I mean, we have seen Mandira Bedi, trying to do something, but I think this is all little bit deviant and not as per the Shastra. Okay.
Basically, woman
As a
is supposed
woman,
to be a weaker
Prabhuji,
person,
then what do
and
I mean devotees who don't have sons, what are they supposed to do? Suppose
What
they
they're
believe
supposed to
will
do, Mataji, that the devotees who don't have son. I'm not talking about devotees at all. Okay. See, because if it is Krishna consciousness, you don't have to worry about Pindadan at all, because the person is going to get liberated for sure. Because this person is Krishna conscious, is going to go back to Godhead. Correct, no?
Mm. So
Because
that
this much
every
clear.
month that they do every
It's
uh,
not necessary at all, because Krishna is saying, no, if you are doing, if you have sheltered, if taking shelter of Krishna, then there is no need of doing any pindadan. It is not necessary. It can be done just
okay.
as a ritual, but it's not necessary. And the previous system was, olden system was, when people didn't have sons, what they used to do was, there is a system of Dauhitri. Dauhitri system means daughter will have sons, right? So they will have a arrange, before giving the daughter in marriage, they will tell to the son-in-law prospect that one of the sons has to give pindadan to us. You have to give it to us to
Hmm.
do the Dawhitri system. This is the
And
system.
who are childless?
Childless are, it's a little bit of a problem. They have to be Krishna
no,
conscious. They have
Prabhuji,
to be
they say any
Krishna
Brahmin can do
conscious.
the
Yeah,
pindadan.
they say that.
Any
They
yeah,
Brahmin can do the
they say,
pindadan in
they
their
yeah.
name.
there are some
Yes.
Brahmins
Yeah.
who do,
Yes.
they become
Or
Dattaputras
Prabhuji,
and
if
they
they
do.
and if they have like co-brother-in-laws or something, co-brothers, their sons can also do if the son
Correct.
is in the family.
Yeah. There's some
Or
nuances
they
like
can
that.
take a Dattaputra and
Yeah,
do
that
it.
is also possible. Correct. Dattaputra they can take, if they can take some person as a
For
Dattaputra.
that particular ritual also. But basically, the women were not allowed to go to the smashan and all that, because they are more delicate in their. Then they will not be able to again concentrate in their household chores and
Yeah, and
all
also
those
it's
things.
dangerous
So it
also,
is very
because
painful to see.
yeah, they may even end their life in the the funeral fire,
Yes.
because of that emotion also. So
Sati.
that's why they don't allow them to go. Also, that is also one of the
So
points.
even men, when they go to the smashan, it is very difficult for them to see their close mother or father to be, they have lit the fire and all. And really, it takes months for them to get over that pain. It is
Very.
difficult for them also, but they cannot expose their feelings, so they suppress it. But then it's very difficult to manage such men also. It's very difficult.
Absolutely. So ultimately, I mean, in a higher philosophy, if we have to understand, actually there is no man at all. I mean, if you see the higher philosophy,
Yes.
because the only man is Krishna. Okay,
Mm.
because Purusha
We are
means
all,
enjoy. Purusha means enjoyer, and Shakti means enjoyed. The real enjoyer is Krishna. So this designation also, male designation, female designation, is also a temporary designation, because the real
mm,
male is Krishna. There is only one male who
yes.
is Krishna. This is the Shakti. Everybody is considered as Shakti. All the living entities are Shakti. So it is just like we wanted to become Ishvara, we wanted to become like Krishna. So Krishna has given a body like that of him. Okay. So it doesn't mean that now we have become Ishvara or we have become the Purusha. Parama Purusha, Purushottama is Krishna. Okay?
Prabhuji, one more doubt.
Yes, please.
These people who take the sannyas ashram in olden days, they used to go off to the forests, leave the family and go away. So there they will anyway leave their body.
Yes.
So they were never worried about this Pindadan and all those things, no,
Yes,
because
yes,
they
yes.
were Krishna conscious.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
Those who
the
take
what
sannyasa, they don't worry about their pindadan because their belief is that their karma is all gone and they don't have to worry about them because
oh
because
so their bodies will just decompose, so nothing will.
they will be buried. Sannyasis don't be burnt. Sannyasis are buried.
Yeah, but suppose they're on their own, they've gone out to the forest and they're living
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
they don't
Then
worry about all this.
yeah, they don't worry about all this. And sannyasis have left all the worries. No, they are not worried about their future generation.
Body.
They are
They're
not
not
worried
worried about
about
the
their
body.
they are not worried about the body at all. They've given up everything.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay. Hare
We
Krishna.
also have to learn to not worry about the bodies.
Yeah, we should not worry about the bodies. It's just that now whatever body we have got, okay, it may be anything. Okay, now we should see how we can become Krishna conscious. That's it. That should
Yes,
be our
that's the
main
only
task. Yeah. How can we become Krishna conscious? How can I come to
reach
the realization I'm
Godhead.
not the body and get the spiritual body, our original spiritual body, right? Now, there are many interesting nuances also. You'll be very surprised to hear this. If you want to hear, I'll tell you. In Dvaita, Madhvacharya says that a soul also has a gender. Okay, soul has a gender. Soul can be a man or a woman, and that soul will be always a man or always a woman forever. That is Madhvacharya's take. Okay, I've heard that. So as per the Dvaita philosophy. Okay, but in our school, Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, it is not that soul has a gender. Soul doesn't have a gender. It is just that a man can become a woman, woman can become a man. So at the time of death, if a woman is thinking about a man and dying, is born as a man. If a man is thinking about a woman and dying, he'll become a man. Simple. Okay? Clear? So this is all body
Clear, Prabhuji.
conditions. Yeah.
We have to only think about Krishna.
Should only think about Krishna. That's it. Yeah. How we can surrender to Krishna? How can I become better devotee? That's it. Kim puna brahmana Kum punah brahmana punya bhakta rajarchayastata anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. How much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service to me. Now, what we have to understand is, see, just understand it in the perspective. He's making a contrast here. He said, if Vaishyas and Shudras and women, they also can go back to Godhead, then should I separately say about the Brahmanas and the Rajarshi Kshatriyas? He's saying, who are considered to be in a better spiritual status, should I separately say about them? They're much more easier to become a devotee and go back to Godhead if they are properly doing Krishna consciousness. How much more is this is so for righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having to this come to this temporary miserable world, engage in this loving service unto me. No, actually, if you have to be very clear, we see that there are two classes of people who are very spiritual in at least as per the Vedic culture. Okay, in the previous days, earlier days, if you see the time of Dasharath Maharaj like that, the Brahmanas, obviously, who are always reading the Vedas, Vedanta, teaching and all, okay, they are living a very austere life. They are not after money, right? They don't even have a bank balance. They're not even worried about anything. They live a very simple life, right? That's the Brahmanas. They're supposed to. That is the Brahmanas who are completely dedicated to the Vedas and all, teaching Vedanta, all of that. And the Rajarshis are like the Dashrath Maharaj, Janak Maharaj. These are Rajarshi. So Janak Maharaj is called Rajarshi because he is called as Videha. Videha means he is realized that he is not the body. And these two classes of people are always engaged in religious activities, continuously in fire sacrifices, continuously doing always in fire sacrifice. Every day morning, the ritual will be very elaborate rituals they do, okay, as per the previous Vedic culture. So almost like they start their morning and then till morning 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, they'll be doing these rituals and Vedic studies and all of that. So a lot of part of their life, as a part of the Varnasrama system itself, they are very much into the religious rituals, okay, and then reading Vedas and all of that. So in comparison, with the others who are Vaishyas, who may be like businessmen, who may be less interested or who are less involved in reading the Vedas, doing the fire sacrifices, etc. And the women who are more into the taking care of the family, etc. and less involved in they'll be assisting their husbands in doing the fire sacrifices, but they're not like completely into fire sacrifices or something like that, or into so many religious rituals and all of that. So now the point is, Prabhupada is here, Krishna is saying Anityam Asukam Lokam. So Anityam Asukam Lokam. This is the second time Krishna is talking about it. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam means Dukkha Alayam is Asukam Lokam. Same thing. Anityam means Ashashvatam. Right? So this material world is Anityam Asukam Lokam. It is full of temporary and full of miseries, and it is not for gentlemen. Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, this material world is not for gentlemen. This material world is not for gentlemen. Right? So another important point here Prabhupada is saying here is that Mayavadi philosophers say that the world is false. They say Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. But here Krishna is not saying Jagat Mithya. He did not say Lokam Mithya. He said Lokam Anityam. There is a difference between Anitya and Mithya. What is the difference? If I'll ask you the same question. What is the difference between false and temporary? Can anybody say that with an example? Is false temporary? Is temporary same as false? Or is there a difference?
No, they're different.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Temporary is short-lived.
Temporary is short-lived. It is there. It is real. It is there.
Very
but
much
short-lived.
there, but it is short-lived.
Yeah, false means it is not true at all. So the philosophy is, Bhagavad Gita is never saying that this world is false. No, world is not false. The experiences that we are having is not false. The day-to-day experiences that we are having, the dreams that we are getting, the pains that we have, the reality that we see is not false. It's just temporary. That's it.
Temporary. Ashashvatam.
Prabhuji, but in Bhagavatam, we in 6th canto, Prakashananda Saraswati, I think so.
Yes.
He says this is like as if we are in a dream world.
Yes.
So these dualities are not real.
Correct. This
So
is like a
actually,
dream.
it is
Correct,
beyond
Mataji.
my understanding. But
Yes, that's correct. This is an extended dream. It's an extended dream. But my question is, dream is also a reality experience. No, you had a dream. Let's say, you had Srila Prabhupada in a dream. Let's say.
yes,
It is a real, you had that experience. I mean, if I say, no, Mataji didn't have that dream. No, it's false. What would you say?
no, I'll say it is
False
real.
temporary experience.
Yeah, I had that experience. I remember the dream. It really happened. We can't say
Yes,
it's
Prabhuji.
false. That's it. That's the difference between
Correct.
false and
Okay.
real. That's it. Okay.
So
Okay.
our life is also an extension of a dream only, a
Yeah,
different
it's an
stage
extended
of
dream. It's like a
consciousness,
long dream. It's like a long dream.
a different level of consciousness. It's just different stages of consciousness.
Yeah, it's a long dream because it's like, after death again we forget everything. There's no family, all our bank balance, all our everything is gone. Right? And then
But
we start
actually,
afresh. Yes.
Prabhuji, temporary is defined by time.
Yes.
There's nothing else that is defining the temporary.
Correct.
Temporary means
Temporary is
time.
connected with time. Correct.
Yes.
Correct,
And
Prabhu.
false
Yes.
is value added, value defined.
Correct.
Isn't
False
it?
means
I
it
know.
is
Prabhu,
non-existential at all. That means we are denying the existence of it. You can't
Yeah,
deny
that's
the
it.
existence. I mean, we cannot deny that we have a body right now. We cannot deny
Yeah.
that if somebody is pinching me, if I'm going to get a cut, or if I'm going to my finger is getting burnt, nobody can deny that I had this pain,
Yes.
right? So it's like that. So
it's
okay,
temporary because it's material, Prabhuji.
yeah, temporary because it's material. That's right. So finally, what's the point is, nobody should remain in this temporary world and we should take to Krishna consciousness. Now let's come to the last verse of the 9th chapter, the final instruction of the most confidential knowledge. Who wants to read this?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Manmana bhava madbhakto
मध्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानां मत्परायणाः. Translation: engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me. Surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. This is the final instruction, devotees. Okay, see the final instruction, the final religious principle, final confidential knowledge. The most confidential knowledge is here. The most confidential knowledge and the final, the real dharma, pratyakshaavagamam dharmyam, the real religious principle is this. We have to engage in Krishna consciousness 24/7, 365 days, even when we are asleep. Not only when we are awake, but even in sleep, if you can chant, please chant. If you can remember Krishna even when you are sleeping, when you are dreaming, please do that. That's all. That is the final instruction. 24. Why? Because if we can remember Krishna 365 days, all throughout the 12 months, 30 days, every day, every hour, every minute, every second, at the time of death also we'll be able to remember Krishna, and then surely we will go back to Krishna. It's like this, no? When you heat an iron rod, what happens to an iron rod? It becomes red hot. It gets the nature of the fire, isn't it? It becomes fiery. Nature of the rod, it's an iron rod, but when you heat it so much, it becomes like fire, like that of fire. Now, if you put a paper, it will burn. It's like fire now. It is like fire. Similarly, right now we have got a material body. If you become Krishna conscious, and if you continuously in touch with the fire of Krishna, then we will get body like that of Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. Sachidananda Vigraha. We'll get that body like that of the Krishna. And then we will not have to take birth again. Okay? This is the final instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Even in the last chapter also, Krishna repeats the same verse. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijani priyosime. This is the final instruction. So what is the takeaway is that we should not deviate our mind to anything other than Krishna or anybody other than Krishna. Only Krishna. That's it. Just like the Ganges is going towards the ocean, right? Ganges is going towards the ocean. There is no deviation. It's a straight path, direct path. It doesn't stop for a moment. It doesn't go any direction. It goes straight into the ocean. That's it. Like that, we should only remember Krishna. This is the topmost instruction of Bhagavad Gita. If we can do that, then we will transcend all modes of material nature. There is no bodily relationship. There's nothing to do with the body. Krishna consciousness has got nothing to do with the body. And once somebody is a pure devotee, there's no comparison here. Okay, like we have such great devotees, right? We have devotees like Kanakadasa, who are not belonging to Brahmana class, but they are great devotees, isn't it? We have devotees in Vittala. There were some prostitutes who are great devotees. I don't know if you have heard. There's so many stories like that. There's some Chandalas who have become great devotees. Anybody can become a great devotee, right? We'll stop with the final pastime. One day what happened was, there was a Brahmana and there was a cobbler. And then Narada came and asked the Brahmana, what are you doing? He said, I'm reading Vedas. He went to the cobbler and asked, what are you doing? He said, I'm stitching the chappal. He said, okay. Then they both asked same question. Please ask, when will we get liberation? Narada went and asked Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu said, the Brahmana will take many lifetimes, whereas this cobbler is going to come back to Godhead immediately. Then he came back and he said the same thing. And he said, you tell one story to them and he'll tell one story. Okay. And the cobbler will first ask, the Brahmana will ask, okay, Narada, what happened? What did Vishnu say? When he says, Lord Vishnu, what was he doing? He says, Lord Vishnu was sending an elephant from the needle, eye of a needle. There's a needle inside that eye. Is pushing the elephant. That was the activity he was doing. And Brahmana said, it's illogical. It is wrong against Tarka Shastra. This is all nonsense, he said. Then Narada understood what is the problem. Right? And then he went to the cobbler and he said the same thing. And then the cobbler said, Lord can do anything. Supreme Lord, he has put a big banyan tree inside a small seed. Why can't he just, after all, put an elephant within the needle of eye of the needle, right? So, what do we understand from this? Devotees, what do you understand from this?
Cobbler had more faith in
So total surrender and trust in Lord
surrender
Krishna.
and faith
Yeah,
on the Lord than the Brahmana, though he
that's
was
it.
highly qualified.
He was highly qualified. He had all the Vedic knowledge, Vedic education, everything, right? But he didn't have faith. He's more into his mental speculation and his Tarka Shastra and all his Nyaya and all the logic. He's stuck in logic, right? He's not
The logic itself was
surrendered.
given to him by Lord Krishna only.
Yeah, but he is not surrendered to the Lord, right? That is very important. Okay. All right, devotees, thank you so much for joining. Okay, we'll stop here.